Secretary Pompeo urged Southeast Asian allies to speak out against Chinese coercion in the South China Sea. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo criticized China for coercion in the South China Sea as he attended the ongoing 52nd ASEAN Foreign Ministers Meeting, AMM, in Thailand. Pompeo said he had urged regional allies to speak out against Chinese coercion in the South China Sea, Reuters has reported. Pompeo made the statement at the 10-member bloc's event following recent incidents between Chinese and Vietnamese ships, Chinese and Philippine ships, and China's infringement of Vietnam's territorial waters, and harassment of Vietnamese long-lasting oil operations in its continental shelf. In another move, Pompeo said on the same day that Washington isn't asking any Asian nation to take side as it engages with the region where China is battling for influence and aggressively expanding irrational territorial claims in the South China Sea. Look, we don't ever ask any Indo-Pacific nations to choose between countries. Our engagement in this region has not been and will not be a zero-sum exercise. Our interests simply naturally converge with yours to our mutual benefit, Pompeo said in a speech at the annual meeting with his ASEAN counterparts, AP reported. U.S. relations with ASEAN are guided by a shared commitment to the fundamental rules of law, human rights, and sustainable economic growth, he added. He hailed an Indo-Pacific engagement framework adopted by the leaders of Southeast Asian nations in June, saying it supports sovereignty, transparency, good governance, and a rules-based order, among other things. The U.S.-China rivalry fueled by their trade disputes has put the 10-member ASEAN bloc in a tight spot, and the new framework is aimed at finding a middle ground to keep on the good side of both Washington and Beijing. Beijing has been attempting to project its influence globally through its Belt and Road Initiative, an ambitious development program of major infrastructure projects. Washington, meanwhile, has been promoting what it calls a free and open Indo-Pacific, an all-encompassing vision that focuses on areas such as rule of law, freedom of navigation, and open markets that Beijing regards as directed against it. China's assertive territorial claims in the South China Sea, through which a third of global shipping passes, has drawn rebuke from the U.S. and become a flashpoint for a region in which ASEAN members Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, and Brunei have claims to the waters. ASEAN and China have for years been working on a code of conduct meant to govern the waterway and make the area more stable. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi later Thursday said Beijing will not let anyone block its right to development. It is neither fair nor possible to try to obstruct China's development, Wang said in remarks to reporters provided by the Chinese delegation after talks with Pompeo on the sidelines of the ASEAN meetings. In March this year, Pompeo said China, by blocking development in the South China Sea through coercive measures, was preventing ASEAN members from accessing more than $2.5 trillion in recoverable energy reserves.
is the first fast response cutter that's arriving in Los Angeles. 3 more will follow, can travel farther, have better capabilities than any other coastal patrol boat that we have in the Coast Guard class right now. They're going to be able to do the full suite of missions better than any other Coast Guard patrol vessel than we have currently. They'll be doing things like law enforcement. They'll be making sure that our incredibly important ports in California remain safe and secure. We'll be making sure that illegal drugs and migrants don't make it to U.S. shores. They'll be doing environmental missions like oil spill response and fisheries.
Rednauer was a Coast Guardsman who gave his life in World War II during the sinking of Coast Guard cutter Escanaba. He is known for creating a life-saving device that was used during the sinking of the USS Greenville to save 133 people, and the ship is named after him to honor that ingenuity and that sacrifice. The entire crew has worked incredibly hard to get here. 6 months of work, training, and dedication have paid off. We are here today, and I honestly think the Coast Guard could not have picked a better crew to honor the namesake of Forrest Rednauer.